Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to the channel. My name's Justin. You're watching Survival Mindset. First off, I want to thank Alan over at Stanford Outdoor Supply and Guns and Gear Network. He sent me a huge package. He sent me two of everything. So he sent me the Fire Boss kit right here. 33-piece kit. Look at that kit. And also he sent me the Fishing and Hunting Boss kit, which is 127 pieces in this kit. But today what we're going to be talking about and reviewing is the Fire Boss kit. The Fire Boss kit is the second in their series. It stands for Bug Out Survival Supplements. It is a collaboration of the Stanford Outdoor Supply and Guns and Gear Network. Anything you might need to start a fire in any condition is in this pocket-sized waterproof package. This will be one outstanding kit for the car, the bug out bag, survival, or just around the base camp. But also I can see me using this kit since I have that huge fire pit in my backyard. So yeah, this kit can definitely be used for that fire pit that's in my backyard. So what I want to do is bring this down to the bench so we can get a closer look at everything in here. So let's crack this one open right now. Okay, we got the Fire Boss dump here, guys. This is going to be the fun part. It's a 33-piece kit. Everything's labeled right here, which I really like. You can give these to family members or your kids or anyone that wants to learn about fire making. You basically can give this to. And these are great for the bug out bags or just around your house for your fire pit. If you want to learn how to start a fire in many of different ways. So the bag's really thick. I would say it's about 6 mil. The plastic is 6 mil or maybe even a little more. Totally waterproof. But let's start at the top right here. You got your Bic lighter. You got some wire around it. You can also use a bread tie. I do that in a lot of my kits. The reason why, you don't want the gases leaking out in the kit or in your bag, or you don't want to be stuck out in the woods with no source of a lighter to burn paracord or what have you. Also, you got the Yuko matches. They're waterproof matches. I've done a review on these before. It's linked down below, somewhere down there in my videos. I don't know if I'm going to link it to this one or not. Here we're looking at the Ferro Rod. A Ferro Rod with like a hacksaw style of a striker. It's rough on this side. You can also maybe cut little tiny things with that hacksaw blade, and it's also smooth on that side. You can use either side you want to strike your ferro rod. And I'll be using some of this stuff out in the field sooner or later. I just don't know when. It just all depends on the weather. Here you got a lens right here. These are great for the summer for starting fires. Or looking at something fine like in your finger if you have a splinter or like a small fish hook in your hand. Here we got some magnesium capsules. Magnesium capsules are basically fine dust that has been scraped off that ferro rod, and they're packed into this capsule. Now, magnesium burns at 5,000 degrees, and magnesium works very well in water. So if you have a kid, tell them to be careful around the magnesium, or maybe do some supervised vision over them while they are using the capsules. The rods, no big deal, but the capsules, yeah, you might have a concern with those. Here you got some steel wool. If you have like a 9-volt battery, yeah, you can get a fire started in a heartbeat, you know, with the steel wool. So that's always a plus to have. So you can, if you have a battery like in your GPS or what have you, yeah, the steel wool will be in play big time. So you got 4 pieces of Char Cloth right here. Char Cloth is excellent with steel or flint or chert rock. So you might want to add you know, all that to your kit in order to get the char cloth to work. But char cloth will work with a lot of different things too. You can light it with that lighter, you can light it with that ferro rod. These candles, now these candles are Tealight candles. There's 2 of them in a pack. These will burn for a little bit, you know. I'm not sure on the burn time quite on those, but I'm probably guessing around a half an hour each, so an hour in total. Here you got some Fatwood sticks. Okay, now look at the resin and look at the veins running through this wood. I mean, this is good looking Fatwood. I can smell it coming right out of the pack right now. And look at the redness. You're looking for red in Fatwood a lot, and those dark vein colors that are running through Fatwood. That's outstanding looking Fatwood. You got quite a few pieces in there, and also too they give you this pencil sharpener, so you can grind some of that Fatwood down and make finer pieces of Fatwood by twisting it in this pencil sharpener, and that would work out awesomely, you know. And then right here there's a piece of paper with a reflective side. You can use that with the magnifying glass right here to reflect your fire in different positions, you know. Or you can also use this to tear off a piece to get a fire going. Would work fine with that too as well. There's many of different options for reflective paper, tinfoil, what have you. Okay, and then right here we got some jute twine. Jute twine is excellent for doing small, lightweight, like shelter building. It does make excellent fire starter as well. So that's always a plus. There's 10 feet of this jute twine in there. And then right here we got some rope. You can make, you got 6 of these, and you can dip these in Vaseline. You can dip these in like lighter fluid or whatever you want. Soak them in there. And these are a great way to start fires, you know. You just light one on fire with your lighter, ferro rod, and you just put some jute twine mixed with that, and that would go up in a heartbeat. Throw your sticks on there. You got your fire going in no time. Here you got a finger saw. A finger saw is always handy to have for little tiny wood processing, you know. Also too, you can use this to wrap around the shelter too if you needed to. But basically it's this for small wood and processing small twigs. Right here you got a Kevlar rope right here. This is 6 feet. This is awesome for having out in the forest. You just find your stick, make your bow drill, and you got it all set up. This, I've never used Kevlar. I used paracord, but I imagine this is strong stuff. I will be testing this out for sure in the future to see how well that works. That looks pretty interesting. Right here you got a socket right here. It spins both ways, okay guys? So when you're out in the woods, what you're gonna be doing with this is you're gonna get a knife and you're gonna notch a hole in a piece of wood so it fits in the palm of your hand as a socket set. Your stick's gonna come up here basically, and it's gonna move back and forth into your hearth board to get your fire started. You will have to have a V-notch. If you want to learn about that stuff, there's an instruction waterproof booklet right here. Here's your hearth board right here, your bow drill with your Kevlar there, and your socket right here that you're gonna have to use this on a piece of wood. And if you come across pine sap or what have you, you want to put your pine sap around these edges. That way it'll stick in your piece of wood like so, and it won't be falling out all over the place on you. That's a great way to do it. But a lot of times in my packs I carry different kinds of glues and little containers for stuff like that, but you can use pine sap. Here you have another knife. I probably would replace this one. This is for processing woods, you know, or maybe gutting your fish or something. If you were lost out in the woods, you would need some kind of a knife. But it's not too bad of a knife. Little nice folder right here. Lightweight too. That's one thing about this whole kit. It's very lightweight. Here, if it's pouring down rain, you got snow all over the place. This is a wet fire starter. You can scrape this down into a small tinder bundle, you know, like your jute right here, or scrape it down on your char cloth right there, and you can get this stuff lit very quick. Now it says keep away from children, so you might want to supervise your children with this. Here's some of the information on the back. UltimateSurvival.com is where that one's coming from. So yeah, this is an outstanding kit, guys. You can't beat this whole entire package right here for $19.99. You can reach Alan over at Stanford Outdoor Supply and Guns and Gear Network. The link's down below in that description box. I recommend checking out everything he's got on his website. It's all solid stuff. And thank you guys for watching. Until the next video, you guys have a great afternoon. Peace out. You're watching Survival Mindset.